Let me show you two ways you can make peanut burger at home. This recipe is so delicious and so tasty. Everyone is going to love it. Hi faves, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're making peanut burger. Now to your groundnut, you're going to add some salt and then you're going to boil some water until it is boiling, of course. And then you're going to pour it all over your groundnut. Make sure the water covers the groundnut so that it is evenly distributed and the groundnut is soaked in that water. You want to mix this properly so that that salt goes round in that water. And then after it has stayed for about 5 minutes in the hot water, you want to sieve your groundnut out of that water until there are no more liquid in your groundnut. Okay, so this is a way of making groundnut, but for this recipe we are not going to be roasting our groundnut. We're just going to allow our groundnut to dry. Some people might put their groundnut out in the sun, so if you do not own an oven, you can sun dry your groundnut until it is dry. I will be doing this in my oven and I'll just let it dry. Now in another bowl, I'm going to add some flour. I'll be adding some milk as well, and then I'll add some salt and mix this together to combine. Don't worry, I'll leave all the detailed measurements in the description box, so please do well to check there. Now this is some sugar that we'll be using for this recipe, and then 2 eggs. This is to act as a binder for your groundnut. So now I'll transfer the eggs to the sugar and I will mix it until the sugar completely dissolves in that egg. You don't want any sugar particles at all, so you want to mix it until it no longer looks that golden. It no longer has that golden color, it has this creamy color. Now my groundnut has dried in my oven. It is not roasted. Please know that it is not roasted. You can use roasted groundnut for this recipe, but if you want to make it from the scratch, you have to do it this way. It is just cooked and dried. Now you want to get a bowl that looks like this. Transfer your groundnut into a bowl that does not have any lines, something that is as smooth as this. Now you're going to take some of that egg mixture. You will sprinkle it on top of your groundnut. You want to make sure that this is evenly distributed so that it can have like places to stick in your groundnuts. Now you're going to transfer your flour. This is our flour mixture here. We're just going to add it to that groundnut and then we're going to mix it together just like you can see me do. Okay, this is where the work is. I'm not even going to lie, this is not easy. If you can get someone to do it for you, oh my god, you're so lucky. And if you can do it yourself, it's fun. You can try this recipe with your kids. They're going to love it. You guys are going to have fun doing it because it is interesting to make, actually, even though it might be a little bit time consuming because of this coating process, but it is a very interesting recipe to make with your family, your children, or yourself or your spouse or whatever. So now you're going to keep mixing this until the flour mixture and the egg mixture act as a coating for your groundnuts. Okay, so you just want to keep mixing this, mixing it and mixing it. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more amazing content like this. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome. Thank you so much for always watching my videos. I truly and genuinely and sincerely appreciate you. I see you and thank you so much for even leaving a comment. It means a lot to me that you do all of these things. Okay, so like I said, you want to continue adding the egg mixture to the flour mixture and then combining it with the groundnut just like you can see me do. Don't worry if it's not looking like it's coating yet, it's probably because you still have a lot of egg mixture and flour mixture left, so don't worry. And in Yoruba parlance they will say mafo. At this point you can see that the coating is already starting to form. Yes, so I'm going to, this is like, I think this is the final one, I'm not so sure, but whichever way, you just want to keep mixing until that groundnut is well coated. So this is how you mix. You can do circular motions or you can do up and down motions. Whichever one works for you is perfect. Just keep doing this until you are no longer having any egg mixture. The egg mixture gong, is the one that is important, because that acts like the binder. Now this is the final one, and as you can see, I'm already still doing the up and down motion for it to coat. If you notice, the granite is no longer the shape that it was when we began, so it has already coated well. And now once you have something that looks like this, you are good to go. But you need to sieve this so that you do not have flour particles in your peanut burger. So that is what I'm doing at the moment. I am going to sieve this until there are no longer flour particles in my peanut burger, and then I'll proceed to fry. Now, let me tell you, one of the mistakes that people make when they are making peanut burger is that they increase the heat. They want to fry that ground, especially if you are not using roasted granite. You want to fry your granite on low to medium heat. Do not fry on high heat, because if you do so, your granite is going to fry really quickly and then the inside will not be cooked, and you do not want that kind of outcome. So you want to fry it on low to medium heat. It's going to take time, I won't even lie to you, but you're going to get a very beautiful and delicious result. So just keep on frying your granite on low to medium heat, and then you will get a perfect result. Like, when I mean perfect, when I mean delicious, crispy, yummy peanut burger that can teach you, like your people will say, akomolole. That kind of thing. So it looks, once it looks like this, it is perfect, as long as you fried it on low to medium heat. Do not fry your granite on high heat. My faves, I've told you, don't fry that granite on high heat. Fry it on low to medium. So once you're done frying, transfer it to a tray like this, something that can allow it to dry, okay, and then allow it to cool down a bit, so that the crunchiness can be formed. Because if you eat it immediately you bring it out of the oil, it's not going to be crunchy at all. But allow it to cool down, and once it has cooled down, transfer it into an airtight container like this, and then you are good to go. So that is it for making peanut burger with eggs. Now let me show you how to make peanut burger without using eggs. All right, so just like we did the other time, we'll be using some raw granite again. Okay, so for this one, I'm picking out the dirt, because sometimes these granules are not clean. They come with different particles from the market, from the so you don't want to go and mistakenly eat coated stone. That would not be funny at all. So I'm picking out the dirt, and look at the dirt I got from this. So yeah, I will jettison that, and then this is my granite. Just like before, I will boil some hot water, and when my water is boiling, I will transfer that water to my granite to make sure that it covers the granite. But before then, I'll be adding some salt to my granite. This is to ensure that your granite is not bland. You want your granite to be seasoned, okay? So now you're going to add that hot water into your granite until it covers it. Yes, you want it to cover it. So in a way, you're cooking your granite, but you're not roasting it. You can, like I said, you can use already roasted granite for this recipe, but if you want to make it from the scratch, this is how we do it. Okay, so you're going to mix this thoroughly again to combine. Cover it and leave it for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, while it is still doing its own thing, we'll add some flour, some milk to some flour, and then some salt, and then we'll mix this thoroughly again to combine. You want to ensure that the milk and the flour and the salt is evenly distributed, so that you don't have cases where you will now come and see flour is in one side, milk is in one side, salt is in one side. We don't want that kind of situation. Make sure it is evenly distributed. This is after 5 minutes. I brought out a sieve, and I'll be sieving my granite from the water, the hot water that it has been boiling in. So I'm going to let the water drain out completely, and then just like I did the other time, I don't, because I'm filming this, I do not have time to sun dry my granite, so I'll be drying it in my oven. But if you have enough time on your hands, by all means, please do sun dry your groundnut. And if perhaps you do not own an oven, you can still make peanut butter here. Just make sure that your groundnut is well dried before you proceed. That is the only thing. I do not say that make sure your groundnut is roasted. I said make sure your groundnut is well dried before you proceed. Now, this is how to make it without eggs. To some sugar, you're going to add some water. This water is going to be like, it's going to form a syrup. This is called sugar syrup. We're not cooking it on heat. We're just going to make sure that we stir this until this sugar completely dissolves in this water. Okay, did you get that? Let me say it again. You want to stir it until this sugar completely dissolves in this water. Like there are no more sugar particles, there are no more sugar lumps and hair. This will act as the binder instead of eggs. Let me tell you something. This is a very, very strong binder. You'll be so shocked that just sugar and water can bind something. Okay, this is my groundnut. It has dried out in the oven, and this is what it looks like. You can see that the peel is already coming off, and if you notice, it is not roasted. This still looks uncooked. This is the vibe that we're going for. All right, now I transferred it to that same bowl. Just like I did with the eggs, I will also be doing with the water. I will mix it in there like so, and then I would throw this up and down so that the water and the sugar mixture is well distributed in the groundnut. Okay, so now I'm going to be adding some flour mixture. Remember, this is not plain flour. There is milk in it, there is salt in it rather. So I'm going to be adding some flour just like I did the other time. You throw it up and down to make sure that this is evenly coated. Okay, so it's already starting to look like it's beginning to coat, but come on, this is just the first coating, so we cannot judge by this. So you're just going to keep repeating that process, and after a lot of doing the same thing, this is what it looks like, but this is not the final result that we're going for. Okay, so I'll keep adding that water mixture to the groundnut to make sure that it is well coated. This is the final water. Then I'll add the final flour to it and just keep going circular motions or up and down, whichever one you prefer. Just do that. Just keep throwing it up to ensure that it is well coated. You might find out that some will be stuck to the bottom of the bowl. You can use a spoon to remove those ones and make sure that they are well coated with their sibling. And once you get something that looks like this, you know that okay, your groundnut is well coated. You're going to see that some of them will stick together like Siamese twins. Use your hands to separate them. Okay, some of them will stick together. Use your hands to separate them so that you have like individual groundnut and not twins, except you like twins and you like to eat twins peanuts burger. Anyways, I'm joking. So we're going to transfer this to a sieve just like I did the first time, to remove the excess flour on the body of the peanut burger. Once you get something that looks, you can see the excess flour underneath. This is it. Our peanut burger has been well coated. We did not use any egg for this recipe, and this is the outcome before frying. So if you notice, underneath the groundnut you will still be seeing some flour mixture. You want to make sure that those ones do not follow the groundnut to fry, so that you do not have flour mixture in your groundnut. So I am using my hands to separate the ones that I noticed that they were twin, and this is me testing to see if my oil is hot enough. I'll transfer the coated peanuts into the oil for frying. Like I said, please take my advice so that when you try this recipe, you will not send me insult and say, Gracie, I tried your recipe. fry this on low to medium heat so that it gives time for your granite to also cook, and it's not just the covering or the coating that is frying. That is my advice to you. Fry it on low to medium heat. It will take a while, like it's going to take a while, but you're going to get a very, very good result, so that you will not make rookie mistake and just waste your time and effort and then end up with granite that is not cooked inside. When it looks something like this, you know you are good to go. Take this out of the oil and then transfer it to another sieve or a paper towel, something to take out the excess oil basically. So once your peanut butter is fried, take it out of the oil. I fried mine several times because I couldn't fry all of it in one batch here. So this is another one. This one is lighter than the first one, but it was still crunchy just like the first one. Okay, so now that we're done frying, just like we did the other time, you are also going to allow this to also cool down so that you can get the best result. If you eat it at this point, it's not going to be crunchy. So you're going to allow it to cool down, and then once it cools down, you store in an airtight container, and then you enjoy it with your family and friends. If you found this video helpful, please share it to your family members, your friends, your enemies, and your loved ones. Thank you so much for watching my video, faves. I do not take your love and support for granted. I will see you in my next one. Bye.